Petro takes them out. Waterhouse, Grant Pritchard and Yosefa replaced by Coote, Graham Pulatua and Sivanasiva. And so right smack on their bumper bar are the Roosters. And the boys have asked the question, the prevailing question. Will they be able to lift after 7 nights after that epic game and that win over the West Tigers? Well, the Tigers did it. Can Braithen Astor's team do it? Roosters crowd dominating the figures here tonight. Kenny Dow, look at him. 13 tries from his last 8 games. No more important try than the one he got last weekend. 21 tries for the season. First Rooster to score more than 20 in the 1 year since Billy Mullins in 1974. Are they the team on the way to rewriting the record books by becoming the first team since Western Suburbs, the old Maggies, in 33-34 to go from last to first in consecutive years? Petro Sivanasiva, 41 tests, 27 origins, and he makes up 18 of their total finals appearances. They've had 45 appearances, this squad. He makes up 18 of them. To give you an idea of the balance and experience. Shane Hayne blows the whistle. Kick off, running towards the southern end of Penrith. And the Roosters met by a reception committee on the first tackle, back on their 10. So keen was the chase to tackle Mitchell Orbison. 10 out from their line there. The second of the big ones, the second of the sudden death semis, and they go to Kenny Dow. 18 out from his line. They've used 3, we're looking at 4 being played out. So the defence from Penrith, well, it can't be any more intense, can it? But then we are in the opening set, the opening seconds. Carney drives it out of there. And now he's back. The kid from Windsor, Lachlan Coote. Got the 21 on his back, playing fullback. And his able deputy is with the ball now. Back on the wing is Michael Gordon. So they're 15 short of halfway on their first use of the football. And Shander Earl, who scored that acrobatic try. And here's a penalty, the first of the game to the Panthers. If they win tonight, 1, 2, 3, 4 ranked teams into the semi-finals will go for the first time in the McIntyre system into the second last weekend.
First penalty against Mitchell Orbison there, lying in the ruck area, not making an effort to move out as Penrith. Luke Walsh finds McKendry close to the 20, loses the football, and it is a loss of football.
So the scrum will pack. Loose head feed to the Roosters. McKendry not happy. Hayne of the opinion it was a loose carry. Nothing there, nothing there. Hand on the ball there. And that brings a roar of disapproval from the Panthers fan. Now a little bit of a blue. Almost where the scrum that was a rabble last weekend was formed. There must be something down there in the turf at the footy stadium. You are saying, not you, Frank. Not again, son. McKendry it was. Newsala. Little disagreement. And it's almost tried to erupt again after they came away with Linnett tackled on the left side of the ruck. And this is Nate Miles, 30 metres out from his own line. Play back for Fred to go away to Riles. And Riles will play the ball 40 out from his own line. Play back and Fred uses the blind side and Anasta is there. So the captain, the champion field goal exponent from last weekend, from 35 out. Will he put one on tonight? Might not have to. Newsala then on the 5th tackle. Pearce, he puts the kick down straight into that corner, the northeastern corner. Little problem for Earl. He's on his way back. And he runs into the... Oh, good tackle, Kenny Dow. He came in from the blind side and he really shook Shandarrell up. Now for Jennings, and the penalty goes to the Panthers. Back on their 20. Jennings is slow to get up.
He's having a little bit of a limp here while he tries to warm up his leg. There's Shandarrell coming out of the left-hand corner this week. The return of Lachlan Coote has meant that Gordon's gone to the right wing, and Earl, who was terrific last week in that position, has gone to the other side of the field. So something more the youngsters got to contend with.
Sivanasiva, just a couple of metres into Roosters territory. Welsh for McKendry. Peter Sterling.
Yeah, he's still 50 metres behind Michael Jennings. He's in some discomfort down there with a lower leg injury around the Achilles heel area as number 11.
That's Nathan Smith playing his 100th game. Came from Canberra to Penrith a few years ago. Now they go to the short side for Lewis. Lewis is put down by 3 of the Roosters. 15 away from the line down at the southern end of the football stadium. Welsh goes over, finds his captain. Sivanasiva backing up as he often does. Makes as much progress backwards as he does forward. And he loses the ball. Back from suspension, a little bit rusty, and Sivanasiva coughs up possession.
That's a bit of a let-off there for the Roosters. Just watching Michael Jennings again, he's still not comfortable over there. It looks like some sort of an Achilles tendon. That was him hitting the ball up, and you can only assume that someone came down on the back of his ankle there. He's still limping. The trainer's in attendance. Not feeling too comfortable at all.
Yeah, he's had a few false starts. He finally jogged back onto that left wing. He's pushed Shandarrell into the centres. He's on the left flank. There's a little bit of space on the side. It's like Phil Graham getting involved.
Graham playing it down his own end of the paddock. And Minicello was taken heavily. That was a solid tackle by Kingston Lowe. And McKendry wrapped him up over the top. That's Sammy Perrott. Centre ground inside the 30-metre line. Play back for Friend, then for Carney. Carney off his right foot. Carney sees a little hole, tries to scamper through. It's closed down by Purtell playing back row with Lewis. Now Pearce, right foot. And down it goes to Coote. Moves about 10 metres to his left to take the mark. He's outside 20. And Mitchell Pearce leading the defence down the avenue, down the middle, making the tackle. And now this is Michael Gordon. He plays the ball on the 30-metre line. Away goes number 4 for the Panthers, Brad Tye. He'll play it short of halfway by 9 metres. Across the face of one to Burns, to Lewis, and Lewis across the face. And down with Shandarrell. Got a ball away to Purtell. And Purtell is tackled 30 metres out. Play back for Travis Burns. Now for Luke Walsh. Has a look right, has a look left, drops the ball. Tackle was strong from Nate Miles. Welsh gets back in the defensive line. Roosters pick up possession easily again.
Yeah, too many mistakes from the Penrith team. It's only 2 completions from 5 uses of the football. The Roosters are 3 from 3, and a very nice cover defending tackle earlier there from Mitch Orbison on to Purtell.
Kenny Dow was standing on the right side, which was the blind side. He came around, took an open side play. Friend goes to Pearce. Pearce, a little zigzag as he came to the defensive line, but it doesn't fool anybody. And Welsh makes the tackle with Sivanasiva. Friend, Carney, Miles getting it back and out. A nice ball to Friend, and Friend back to Carney. And Carney is held there by Purtell. Players right on the halfway line. McKendry an assist in the tackle. Second of the sudden death semi. Winner goes to play Gold Coast next Friday at Suncorp Stadium. Kenny Dow playing the ball on Nine's live exclusive coverage of the finals, and Pearce puts it down the ground. It's taken by Gordon easily. No pressure, no chase, and he's buffeted in the defence of Miles and Friend. And looking to put a ball out the back, so the defence was a little bit lax there. Miles was doing his best, but Friend did not shut the ball down. This is Earl on the 40-metre line. The player for Kingston. He goes to Sivanasiva, Peter.
Jennings has left the field on the far side. He's outside the other touchline, and we've still got Michael Gordon down in back play as well as McKendry takes it forward. So Jennings has left the field, and Gordon is not good. That's Lewis.
33 out from the line. Troubles for Penrith in the injury department as Walsh grubbers a kick down, taken by Graham on the feet, given immediately to Minicello, and he's hit hard, right in the goal mouth area. Coote it was that hit him, with Burns, now Perrott, and the crowd roaring. I think their disapproval is of the 10 metres.
So Purtell goes to left centre for Jennings. Gordon obviously stays out on this wing, and we've got Gavin Cooper out there now. Andrew John sideline.
Yeah, it's quite slippery. We spoke about the handling errors. There's 3 drop balls for Penrith, but the conditions down there are quite slippery. It's dewy heat down here, so you're tough on the handling conditions as Carney puts one downfield. Not only just downfield, he finds the line. Just outside the 20-metre line.
Yeah, and he kicked it from well inside his own half. He didn't need much more on it to get a 40-20. It would have nearly been 30-20, I think. He was fairly deep inside his own territory. Here's Jennings. That's bad news for the Panthers as he comes to the sideline. This is Jennings hitting the ball up earlier. And it just seems so simple. I think someone's come down on the back of his leg here. There it is there. You can see the ankle twist, and that can happen at any time. That's disappointing. I've got to say, in the opening stages of this game, I think both defences look really vulnerable. I don't think either side has established any sort of platform or confidence in that part of the field. The attack's been ordinary, so no one's been hurt yet. But these defences have got to get in order.
It's a very different game, isn't it, Rabs? Jake Friend was defending at 5'8".
Yeah, the scrum. I was looking at the Roosters had the number 8, Jason Wiles as hooker. Halfway line then for Penrith. That kick from Carney, he's kicked 3 40-20s through the season. That would have been 4 because he was deep inside his red line. Lewis strong, Nuasala brave. And on the 30-metre line, it's gone away with Kingston. Clever, good player, plays the percentages. Right side for Walsh, right foot for Walsh. Up to the uprights, it's a well-placed kick. They come down, Coote is, I think, the challenge. And is marked by Minicello. You've got to be so careful now that, as I call him, the kid from Windsor is back. He doesn't stand around waiting for a bat down, he contests the area. 20 metres out from their own line then with Orbison. Now for Carney, he wants to go wide. He does to a master who goes quickly. This is Linda. He got the ball away. Graham in a sprint on the inside. He finds Pearce. Pearce is away for another. Mitchell Pearce tries on consecutive Saturdays.
And just an indication of how dangerous they are from anywhere on the field, the Roosters. We saw them score a long-range try against Manly a couple of weeks ago. They'll back themselves. Michael Gordon, talking about backing, in retrospect probably should have stayed out and not committed, because once the number one went in there, and it was on the outside for the Roosters attack, and Pangolin did very well. Drew the fullback Lachlan Coote, and Mitchell Pearce, too much speed for Brad Tighe and Michael Gordon.
And a big welcome to those taking the coverage from 9 down here in Australia, around the globe, wherever you might be watching. I hope you're enjoying our finals coverage. This match, and then 3 to go before the conclusion and the start of the Four Nations. He's a good kid, isn't he? Mitchell Pearce, the son of the great Wayne Pearce. And not only is he fleet of foot, he's strong in defence. When he kicks, he's the first down the ground. He puts them all onside. 9 times out of 10, he'll make the first front-on tackle. Just 21 years of age as Carney, his partner in crime, lines it up. $17 he was for first try, Mitchell. Not bad odds about him, $17. TAB Sportsbet working on the match. You can bet live on it. 1-3-3-3-9-0. But bet within your means. You know the deal. Carney, 18 out, 12 in. On the western side. Study and concentration. He's got a magnificent record of points here at the footy stadium. There's another couple. He's averaged 10 points a game here in 2010. There's another couple, so he's got 8 to go tonight to get up to the average.
They've shown this compressed defensive line all night so far, the Panthers, and it's the first time Roosters have explored it. You'll have to go down the dressing room after the game and ask whether it was Todd Carney or Braithwaite Nasta who called for the play. Carney threw the long ball, but it was a Nasta waiting for it out there. I dare say he screamed, realising he had numbers on the edge.
Jason Riles there. Penrith really now in trouble. No Waterhouse at the start.
Not square, mate.
No Pritchard. And we'll get a report from Andrew shortly about Jennings, if in fact he might come back. Penalty goes Roosters.
Yeah, Trent Waterhouse, one of the injured brigade, looking on. First penalty tonight for the Tricolours, gets a cheer. And he won the penalty count for the 4th time all season last week, and they trailed 2-1 tonight.
Friend taking the tap. Andrew's got that report. I'll take you down to him in a moment. That's Nate Miles on halfway. Sivanasiva racking up plenty of tackles early. Here's a Nasta to Minicello to Carney. Carney looked right. If he had a look left, there were 2 unmarked. But it was pretty busy there for him. Here's Limit, one of the 2 that were unmarked. They're 18 out from the line. Through from Carney. Pearces with the ball. Now back and down for Miles. And Nate will play it. 11 out. Back for Friend. Now Carney drifting and across to Limit. And almost able to pop a pass, but deciding against it. On the last there. Oh, Carney knocks on and scooped up there by Luke Lewis on the 20. What's the news on Jennings, Andrew?
Yeah, he's in the dressing sheds with the doctors. It's an ankle injury. I'd say they'll be doing everything in their powers, Penrith, to get him back out there.
Massive blow if, in fact, they've lost him for the night. It's a massive blow, even the fact that he's injured. Lachlan Coote plays the ball. Inside the 40-metre line, Sivanasiva rumbles it up towards halfway. Kingston waits to the halfway then with Travis Burns. He's tackled by Niosala. There's Kingston looking for a penalty. Niosala never ever got square, but he kept himself out of the defence. On the last, Walsh puts a stabbing kick in. Well taken by Perret.
There are a few wingers in the competition who read the kicking game better than Sam Perrett. He drops back, he knows where to expect the football, and he catches a lot of them on the full as the Roosters.
Oh, no look pass from Anesta. He's got the ball to Limit, and Limit is rounded up by Walsh.
And if Luke Walsh doesn't make that tackle, the net scores as Jake Friend juggles and catches.
And a solid tackle, but he came away. Pearce got it on, wide to Orbison, trouble out on the right. It's gone through Kenny Dow, found Perrett, and Perrett will play the ball. Brilliant movement of the football by the Roosters, left to right, the entire expanse of the rugby league field. Carney, inside ball, Riles passes, Penrith ball. Kingston dropping on it.
Well, that's a mood killer, isn't it? It was all going so well, and they throw it to the big bloke, and he flops it out the back straight to the opposition. But dangerous sign for the Panthers on both sides of the field.
Earl, 30 out from his line, and Gordon tries to relieve the pressure by taking a play. He was tackled by Riles. Yes, Gus?
I just say, neither defence looks confident to me. Neither defence. I know the Roosters have done most of the attacking, but if the Panthers get their house in order, there are line breaks in order for them too, and this kicking game they've employed tonight is extremely negative. They're usually the kings of the attacking kick and putting pressure on the opposition. They've probably had 1 kick so far that they've competed for, and that's not good enough for them.
And Matt Elliott has taken his starting props off. Both Sivanasiva and McKendry have come to the sideline. Matthew Bell, I'd assume Frank Puatua be out there.
Roosters with Riles. Put down 15 metres his own side of halfway. playing it for Friend, and then Pearce, and he goes short to Niosama, runs into a dead end in the shape of Nathan Smith. And it's come away down to the left side for Carney to give an inside ball for Anasta, and Anasta is almost able to make the halfway line with that angled run and scooped up one-handed by Friend. He comes down the short side looking for a possibility again on the right side fringe for Penrith, which has been exposed a couple of times. Pearce's kick going down, allowed to bounce, and it's taken by Gordon. Wow, that was close.
Oh, he did really well there. It was an awful bounce. The Panthers let it bounce because it was near the sideline, goes back in field. Gordon had to take that. And he did. It was a good job.
Pulatua plays the ball. Bell is running it. So Matthew Bell makes good yardage and gets it away to Burns. Burns goes looking for Purtell. He finds Purtell. He puts it back to Burns. And he's, I'm about to say he surrendered in the tackle. He got up and had another dig.
The gaps are there for the Panthers. They've just got to be patient here.
Walsh away to Pulatua. Pulatua will play it 27 metres out from the Roosters line. Walsh then to the right foot again. He puts it down into Graham's corner and he rakes it back to be forced in goal by the number 1 Minicello.
Well, that's better from them. They've got their first restart of the game. But I'm telling you, both defences are really ordinary at the moment. I'm not sure whether the attack is good enough to capitalise on it, but there are certainly opportunities there for both teams.
Without any disrespect to Adrian Purtell, Travis Burns would have loved to have seen Michael Jennings looming up on the left-hand side of him. There's Jared Laria-Hargreaves. Prepares to come in. He does now. Jason Riles to the side. Lachlan Coote takes the catch and finds Pulatua.
Takes it back to the 30-metre line. Does Frank. Matthew Bell, keen for another carry after success with his previous. Ball being played on the 20-metre line there. Down Roosters' end, Walsh to Lewis. Lewis will play the ball 15 metres out from the line. Kingston for Walsh, and Walsh goes over for Bell, across the face of one. They're 8 metres away. And Kingston again goes to Walsh, who steps and takes on the line. Kingston so close. Coots found himself at acting half. He goes deep. Walsh goes on. Lewis goes across. Came off Smith, went backwards to Lewis. Might have been touched. No, he's calling it up for knock on.
Yeah, went from Lewis into the body of the defender. I don't know how they stopped Kevin Kingston from scoring. He looked like he was over from the Luke Walsh offload. In fact, Lewis throws it on the outside there, and Nathan Smith loses it into Phil Graham. And that's a knock-on.
Toyota Cup went to the Bulldogs here tonight, 24 over the Roosters, 22. So the third-place Bulldogs beat the Roosters by 2.
Roosters now just looking to get to the end of their set into a kicking position. In fact, Todd Carney doesn't wait that long. Kicks on the 4th. He's trying to turn the momentum on that. Lachlan Coote was confronted by a good chase led by Kenny Dow.
40-metre line. Coote. Here's Earl. Legs picked up by Orbison. And a penalty goes to the Panthers.
Giving space.
Well, this is their chance. And they'll find touch deep inside the Roosters half and can go right on the attack here. Don't forget, 10:30 on Monday night, a new football show here at Channel 9 called Mad Monday. Hadley, Gould, and featuring a one-on-one interview with Dragons coach Wayne Bennett. You don't want to miss that.
Here's Lewis going across to Welsh, I should say, and then to Pulatua. Played the ball on the 30-metre line, middle of the ground. Kingston pops it up there for Bell, but he's not going anywhere. Pulled down by Daniel Conn in 16. Wairia Hargreaves involved in the tackle. Now for Pulatua. And they're 15 away. Frank Pulatua plays it back for Kevin Kingston. He goes across and shows it. He gives it to Lewis. That's off the boot. It could be play on. It is play on. And he has just got it into the field of play, I fancy.
That was the try they scored off last week. That is the play they scored off last week against the Raiders. And I can't believe they haven't scored again this week. Beautifully executed. Luke Lewis got the ball back on the inside. Watch this. They go across field, dummy in, dummy out, then the ball back to the inside, and trying to come through was Coote, who got it on the boot and hit the upright. And they force him back towards the end goal.
Well, more important than the restart, which is a line dropout, is this. Luke Lewis down and receiving attention from one of the trainers.
What happened to him?
There's a collision with one of the Roosters players. That's all I know. They both went down. It looks like Miles.
He slides into Anthony Minicello. I know that was slow motion. And
gee, there didn't look like a lot in it, did there?
No.
I suppose that's a slow motion. Any hit in the head's going to really hurt.
Well, there it is.
There it is, yeah, right in his knee.
It's the Mountain Cat's right knee that's picked him up.
He's one tough boy, Luke Lewis. Matt Elliott will not want another player to have to come from the field. He looks a little dazed. He's trying to make out something in the ground. He can tell the trainer he recognises, so he let him stay on.
Jennings, he doesn't look too happy at all, does he? That's a shot. It doesn't look like a shot of a man who might be coming back into this game. And Luke Lewis, that was an opportunity missed. The misdirected pass at the end of it denied them getting their opening points tonight, and they cannot afford to lose that man. He has looked dangerous tonight. His angled running has caused problems for the Roosters' defence.
He's all over the shop at the moment. He's doing a bit of angle running on his own. His head's not clear. His legs aren't working. He's talking to these two blokes. He thinks he recognises them.
Apart from that, he's all right.
He doesn't trust them too much. They're walking him off, and he's not happy about it. He's all over the place. He's blowing hard, blinking hard.
Well,
looks like he's gone.
If Luke Lewis is coming off, all of a sudden interchanges are starting to mount up against them as well. You don't budget to be replacing players as early as Penrith have done. The first quarter of the game has gone. The starting props are off. We've had 2 injuries.
Wade Graham about to come on. The emergency ward is full.
Yeah, and Wade Graham just might be the bloke for the occasion here, because the Roosters to me only look as though they want to play when they've got the ball, not without it. There are opportunities there, and Wade Graham just could sharpen them up here.
Marked by Travis Burns, and Pulatua takes the tackle just outside the 30-metre line. Turned back by Kingston for Bell. And Friend is in that tackle on the 20-metre line together with Miles. Right side play, Walsh turned in. That is Graham. Bound for Cronulla. 15 away from the line. Walsh at first. Second is Pulatua, who hunches and turns and spins. Thinking of passing on the runaround, but it wasn't on. And now Burns goes short and they put it down again.
Well, that's a real pressure pass.
Super it was.
Yeah, I get really critical of some of the playmakers in their game who just send their back rowers and front rowers hurtling into 3 or 4 defenders without any thought of the difficulty of catching it and the collision they're about to confront. Now, Cooper runs the hard line there. There's no way in the world that he should be getting that ball. Look, he's just going to get belted. He knows it. He has a little look up and he puts the ball down. I blame the man who gave it to him, not the man who dropped it.
6-0 after 25 minutes.
Far wing.
Wow, got a head clash.
Yeah.
Got a head clash here.
Another Panther gone down. Travis Burns picking himself up after a head clash there with Penrith. Now Wairia Hargreaves.
Well, they only finished with 15 fit players last week, obviously losing Pritchard and Waterhouse, but Tim Grant was busted as well. So
Carney taken by Bell and Pulatua. Friend goes on to Con. Daniel will play the ball, 8 metres from halfway. Fourth tackle gone, blood coming from the nose of Burns. Then Mitchell away from Miles, and they haven't quite reached the halfway line as yet. 5 tackles, and Takani's boot. It's a midfield bomb, and it's coming down about 25 out. Oh, well done by Lachlan Coote.
He's a beauty, isn't he?
Here's Gordon with pace. Launched him. Was it him or was it Con?
Number 15 coming across. Hargreaves said during the week I wouldn't want to be coming up against him after.
He's a human missile, isn't he? Here's Cooper. Shot of that again for you.
Wouldn't have enjoyed last week, Jared. He's been waiting to get one back.
Kingston does a bit of tippy-toeing. He gets around the marker, gets across to Burns. Burns, off his right foot, is pulled down by a Nasta in the main. Right side Walsh, face ball across, tie tackle. And it's come loose again. Or is it turnover?
Turnover.
Here's the Travis Burns head clash. Look at this. What's this? Oh.
It's an aggressive kiss, isn't it?
That's gotta hurt. And Sam Parrott bounced out.
That's 1,000 frames a second. And every one of them hurt.
Here's Parrott. He looks okay. That was an aggressive smash.
It was Parrott, wasn't it? As Carney kicks from inside his 40 again. It's just, gets a bad bounce, just sits up on him, spins backwards almost.
Coote away from his 10. Chasing his Pearce, and he's got him, rounded him up.
He's really shown no signs of his groin injury there, Lachlan Coote, has he? He's been out for some time with a very debilitating groin injury. But he's come back and he looks free in himself. Whether he can sustain that for 80 minutes is another question.
Burns. They're not taking it easy on Travis. He's still getting the clouds out of his head. Wally Lewis sideline.
Well, there's not too much going right for the Panthers at the moment. They seem to stray away from their game plan early in the match, but the number of injuries that they've had over the last 10 or 15 minutes puts extra responsibility on just going back to that same game plan that's been so successful for them all year long.
Played then by Gordon. It's gone on to Burns, who kicks it down into the southeastern corner. And the backpedaling Kenny Dowell brings it back. Kenny Dowell running across. Now he starts to straighten it up. He makes it just outside the 10-metre line. And Leonard goes in to take it out to the 20.
Roosters left winger Phil Graham getting a lot of attention in back play back there. He's just come back onto the field again. He went to go off and they've told him to stay on there.
Played on the 30-metre line. Carney across to Pearce, and Pearce drifting. And here is Orbison in space to the halfway. Goes to Parrott. Great catch. And in a touch.
Well, there's the danger of the Roosters in the two halves, getting across the field very quickly. They carved Parramatta up second round at Parramatta Stadium. Mitch Orbison throwing it out in front of Sam Parrott. He did well to catch it, but Shandor Earl just put his boot on the line. There's Phil Graham going up the race.
There's a great new website called Kudo. The site offers one great bargain every day. Restaurants, hairdressers and hotels at up to 80% off the normal price. For more info, go to kudo.com.au and sign up. Scrum on the 40-metre line. Penrith end of the ground. Towards the middle of the ground comes Earl. Kingston giving Pulatua the run. Up to the halfway, they're picking up and dump him. The Nasta in the main with Wairia Hargreaves. Gets dirty if he's not in every tackle, I think. He's a tackling machine and he's vicious. Aggressively vicious. This is Brad Tye, 30 metres away from the opposition line. Kingston, Walsh, double pumps it, goes back, finds Burns, finds Cooper. Cooper Down underneath the weight of Nate Miles. Now to the right side for the kick from Walsh. Good kick again. Upright's come into the equation. Minicello does too, though. Gracefully flies through the air, marks it in goal. And a free carry back 20 metres.
Yeah, it's a good take from Anthony Minicello, and they come back for the quickest restart they can get going. No such thing anymore. Daniel Con wanted to keep going, and again, Michael Jennings still very proppy on that ankle. Just want to give a rap to Nate Miles. He spoke about aggression and work rate. He's been tremendous in the opening half hour here. Already 22 tackles, and they've all counted.
The Roosters with this 6-0 lead. A try for Mitchell Pearce at the 12th minute. The Roosters found fragility conspicuous on the Penrith right side. But Penrith doing it tough. Injuries all over the place. Some of them already documented before the kickoff. Minicello throws a forward pass. Play on, Penrith with the advantage.
Well, it was never a pass that was on. We've got a little bit of a rush of blood there.
Walsh over, Purtell with the ball. Orbison's got him, he loses the ball, Purtell. Carney doesn't mess around. Gives the ball to Minicello. He's running along the halfway line and will succumb to the tackle of Nathan Smith. That's where they are, right on halfway, here on the western side. And that's Kennedy who's on for the Roosters. Able to lay it back. Fred goes ahead. There's another 12 metres for them. Ball played for Minicello. Now Pearce. Carney waits. Pearce! Left foot step and a fend. Minicello for Carney. Carney to Kenny Dow. Earl came off his wing. Kenny Dow to play the ball. Earl, the main tackler with Cooper. Down low on the half volley for Carney. Carney's able to put a half circle on them. And Carney will play the ball. 2 metres out from the line. Pressure for Penrith. Pearce taken by Anasta. And the captain scores again.
Well, I reckon the referee's played advantage there. I think he was going to penalise the Penrith defenders because they were way offside, but it was good advantage. And Mitchell Pearce strong enough and aware to pick up his skipper on his left-hand side, and that's been coming. Bell came up with a good tackle on the far side to deny Mitchell Pearce, but Todd Carney, after going very, very close. Look at the Penrith defenders get up too quickly off the line, but the whistleblowers refrain from calling, and Anasta snatches it from Brad Tighe to take it close.
It's been quite a month for Braith Anasta. Kicked that field goal to put them where they are really tonight. Named as captain of the year. An honour that he richly deserves. And he scores the second try of the night. 21 minutes after the other. Scored by Pearce. There's the try scorer. 78 for the career and 7 for the season. Braith Anasta. And Todd Carney will convert from about 15 metres out. That's what he's got as we look back towards this fellow. The tattoo under the left ear. And he bangs it through for 2.
You know, when this final pass is thrown, I reckon everyone at the ground thought intercept. They really thought that the Panther number 4, Brad Tighe, was going to come up with this, until you saw that it was Braith Anasta in attendance. What's this? It looks as though he's got it, Tighe, but Anasta comes from nowhere to get it. Ever since this kid came to first grade, and I remember his debut game, the ball bounces for Braith Anasta because he's always onto it. I love him as a player.
Kennedy brings it back. Roosters in the ascendancy to play the Gold Coast Titans at Suncorp next Friday night. Won their first finals match last Saturday night since 2004. Minicello tries to reel out of the tackle of Sivanasiva, who's back on. A friend it is, making metres every time he takes off from dummy half.
Yeah, if they're not careful here, Penrith, they might concede another one before the break as a Nasta surprisingly kicks for touch. I think Penrith will welcome that more than the Roosters will.
Yeah, I'm thinking like you, Peter, but I'm also thinking that the Roosters, to me, still look a little bit suspect in defence, and I think Braithen Nasta wanted an opportunity to get the ball out of play, talk his team up, suck in a few deep breaths before they have to tackle again. So he's obviously thinking a little bit like I'm thinking, that the less broken field play he gives the Panthers, the less likely they are to strike back.
Andrew, what's happening in the emergency ward?
Yeah, the left winger, Phil Graham for the Roosters. He's gone off with a partial tear of the pec muscle. He'll only be back if needed. It's a dangerous injury.
That's the pec muscle without an eye.
That's it. Braithen Nasta just packed into that scrum in the front row. Mark that down.
And we just had Gavin Cooper limp off the field as well with the trainer.
It's becoming a conveyor belt from the field up to the sheds. They don't need this. The Panthers have had a magnificent season. Now they're not just battling the Roosters, they're battling injury big time. McKendry plays the ball. Kingston goes for a run. Walsh there, short. Nathan Smith with the ball to the 20-metre line.
Gavin Cooper limps up towards the dressing room as well. Last tackle now. Walsh try and go high, needs to pop back. That's forward.
Forward pass. Forward pass to Nathan Smith, and that's turnover. There goes Cooper up the familiar tunnel.
Well, he's got a big job to do here at halftime, Matthew Elliott, because I think the Panthers are still in this, but I don't think they believe it. And somehow Matthew Elliott's got to turn that thinking around at halftime. Sure, they've got a lot of injuries and everything's going poorly for them, but I still believe if they settle down, there's opportunities there.
This is a problem. They go very quickly left, right, and they're giving Purcell and Earl a problem over on the far side.
Yeah, up against his old club, Shandor Earl. Spectacular tries to get the team a victory last week. The Roosters last year as Daniel Conn looks for support. Ooh, it's Petro coming across to finish him off.
Now the last. And Friend goes to White. Ria Hargraves, he went through. He's still going to the 20. Goal! Big collision.
Wow.
Friend has gone down and Petro's gone down.
Wow. Big warrior Hargraves breaks through, and the fullback, was it Lachlan Coote, decides he's going to take the man in support, that someone will catch the big front rower. As Hargreaves comes to him, Coote leaves and goes for Friend. They collide. Sivanasiva coming from behind gets the backwash. There's bodies all over the track. The jockeys are okay. The horses are on their feet. The race goes on.
Poor old Petro, it was friendly fire. He was cleaned up by Lachlan Coote. Like, you don't like getting hurt, but it's one of your teammates who does it. And a Rooster speed.
Carney and Minicello ran an important decoy. Kenny Dowell running out of space over there. He flicked past. Purtell's away. Down the left side. Got the ball into Earl. Earl picked up and put away by Pearce again. Halfway line. Through from Graham. Out to Walsh. Across the halfway again for Gordon. He beat Kennedy. And Gordon will play it. 9 metres into Roosters territory. Graham and now Walsh, and Walsh goes back in for Smith. Picked up, Carney's away. Carney down the left, gets away from one, picks up Jake Friend.
He had 2 unmarked men on his outside, Todd Carney, as a penalty goes their way anyway. Braithen Nasta appealing for a sin binning, a professional foul.
Let's go, Petro!
But when he picked that up, Carney, he had 2 speedsters on his left.
Well, it's the second time tonight he hasn't looked to his left.
Go! Petro, go! Go!
Sivanasiva is trying to slow the play down. He's quite happy for the Panthers to kick for goal, but they've decided they want to go for the jugular. Only 50 seconds left.
Jake Friend taking the tap, 15 away. And Nasta gets it out to Wairia Hargreaves. And he tried to free the ball carrying arm. He'll play it 9 out. Friend, Pearce, Con. taken to ground.
This way.
So Peter's calling it left, and Friend goes left, and Wairia Hargraves puts a punctuation mark in it. That's the third tackle. Coming up the half-time. Oh, Pierce! He passed it to the rump of Carney. Carney had long gone. I don't know.
Because I saw a forward pass penalised early in the season as deliberate.
It was like the horse had gone and he tried to throw it in the cart. Now it's gone quickly out to Graham, and Wade Graham is taken down. 9 from the halfway.
Last play.
Last play, and it's come away for a kick from Burns, and Minicello goes back, and he's tackled, and the siren sounds. What an exciting closure to the first half. An injury-riddled first half, and most of them suffered by the Panthers. Roosters 12, Panthers no score. To me, they look like they're playing nervously, the Panthers. Wade Graham was called on much earlier than I guess Matt Elliott wanted to. Luke Lewis taken from the field.
I'm just having a look at the benches, Ray, with the Roosters warming up. Phil Graham, the only concern there. Frank Pulatua, he's out along the sideline. He's getting the body going. Gavin Cooper is out there as well. No certainty to come back in as the Roosters can do to Braithen Astor to get us underway.
The ball sailing down adjacent to the uprights is Kingston. Sivanasiva brings it some 15 metres back into the field of play. Panthers running towards the northern end, wearing their second strip, the teal-based strip. And Sivanasiva, second carry on the set, plays the ball as we go through to the fourth tackle now. And Michael Gordon playing the ball about 8 metres short of halfway. This is McHenry. Sam playing the ball right on the halfway in the centre of the ground. Lewis snaps a kick down onto that eastern side of the ground for Minicello to use Leilua. And Joseph Leilua brings it 25 out from his line.
I like this kid. There's a lot of footballer in him.
This is Linnett. And Bell in 15 comes across to make the tackle with Purtell and Burns. Now Orbison running at the shoulder of Graham. 30 metres away from their own line, the Roosters. 2 converted tries. And Wairia Hargraves held by 3 of the Panthers and put away. Walsh was 1, McHenry was another, together with Nathan Smith. And now for Kennedy, Martin Kennedy, the number 14.
He's an improver. He's growing into his body. He's really more confident in himself.
Pierce keeping it low, driving it down into the corner. Coote carrying back. Pierce leads the chase. He's looked immediately down at one of his fingers as though he may have dislocated. Earl pulled down by Kenny Dow with some help from Kennedy. Penrith back inside their 20-metre zone. And Sivanasiva playing the ball for Kingston. Through Graham, it's now gone to Nathan Smith. And the ball comes out the back, and Graham has to recover. He's able to step away from one, and he's taken over the top by Daniel Conn. Sivanasiva again there. Outside the 30-metre line, taking it up the middle. And again, Conn and Wairia Hargreaves get involved. And off the left foot, Lachlan Coote drives it down for Perrott.
Well, that was a real struggle for Penrith. Just to get out of their own end as Minicello finds Leilua. Good ball.
Graham's around the legs. Leilua had a chance, but there wasn't, at the time, a support there worthwhile giving it to. Now Minicello is picked up and driven down. Strong tackle over there by Michael Gordon. Friend, Pierce. Now it's with Wairia Hargreaves, and he'll play the ball in centre ground. Purtell and Burns getting the defensive job done. Pierce across, Carney in, Kennedy through. the tackle made by McKendry in the main. Friend has a look. Carney is there. And Carney will play the ball on 5. Friend is getting a call from Pearce on the left. That's where it's gone. There goes the kick. Down towards the line. He's in the field of play there, young Coote. And they take him back when he hits the ground into the in-goal area.
Well, it's perfect execution, isn't it? That ball's come down a yard in the field of play. Lachlan Coote tried to back up to get himself into the in-goal. Realised he couldn't. Then nearly overjumped it and had to reach back for it. Great take. But they hold him up off the ground and force him in the goal. Everyone, attack and defence, all did a perfect job there. Good stuff.
So Coote take the line drop out. The ball 45 metres into the arms of Mitchell Pearce, and Martin Kennedy is charging back. McKendry had an air swing in defence. 29 out from the Penrith line. Friend across, in ball for Wairia Hargreaves. 22 metres out now from the Penrith line. Play back for Perrott. Perrott is able to scamper from dummy half. There's available metres there for both sides, and that's been the order of the night. Friend goes across, goes behind a decoy, then Anasta, now Minicello. And Minicello is 5 out from the line. Anasta for Linnett. Linnett over the line, that is held up for mine.
5, last one, 5.
That's about the 3rd time tonight the Roosters have attacked left and then gone left again down a very short line side. Linnett, I don't think, gets this ball down. The Panthers hold him up, but it's one of the impressive things this year. They stick to their plan, the Roosters.
Carney. Pearce. Put it through the hands. Kenny Dowell. Beautifully executed. And scoring is Perrott. How did they do that after you'd had that long stoppage before they came back for the play the ball?
Well, again, showing their ability to go from one side of the field to the other. Lovely passing movement. It was the last tackle. Penrith may well have thought that they'll set for the kick. The decoy runners and then the out pass to Sean Kenny-Dowell positioned Sam Perrott beautifully. That's been coming for a while.
Sam Perrott getting the try, and it was beautiful watching the ball zinging along the back line. But it did come as a bit of a shock, thinking that they had that delay, waiting for the judgment of held up in goal. They had plenty of time to organise. Sam Perrott, he won't let you down. Represented his country, New Zealand. Scores yet another try. And Carney inspects the flight path for this one.
And I did come after that break. You'll find it in a lot of games. Sides will concede a try or be poor defensively after a break. It's just that short lapse in concentration there where they tune off and they don't all tune back on at the same time. That was great execution. But Penrith didn't handle it particularly well.
Carney then at the junction of the 20-metre line in front of the Western stand. On its way, it's going, oh, he's taken the paint and it's bounced away. 48th minute then, Roosters 16, Panthers no score. Andrew John.
Yeah, Wally Lewis, talk us through that long pass from Mitchell Pearce.
Oh, beautiful pass, Joey. Targeted a man absolutely perfectly. The quality of the ball was absolutely first class. It just got on the outside of Adrian Purtell. Replay showing it up. They just ran at a man who's been tired from playing in the forwards all the time. Beautiful ball out in front.
Kennedy now. Here's Perrott.
That was a gem of a pass, Robbins. Absolute gem of a pass.
I think you're looking at the New South Wales halves for a couple of years to come, and there's the 7 on camera. Here's the 6 with the ball. Daniel Connors taking it out to the 40-metre line. This is just starting to... I know you thought at 12-0 they still had a chance. now they're starting to run with abandon.
Yeah, they're losing contact, the Panthers.
Orbison played the ball. Pearce puts a kick in. He'll lead the chase in the corner. After Coop to find the gap to get out of there.
The last two kicks have been superb. The high one to force the restart from the line drop out, and that one in the corner. Hang on, we've got Sean Kenny-Gow shaping up the Lachlan Coop. That's all it is. Penalty coming to Penrith now for a high shot.
Lockie, just say how they run.
They're not letting me play the ball. They're holding me every time on the head.
Travis!
Travis Burns in the middle of that.
Out of there, Jared. Jared, walk away.
Conversation with Wairua Hargreaves.
He fights out of his division, Travis Burns, doesn't he? I mean, he doesn't get on the scales before he takes on an opponent.
Travis.
He looks for the biggest bloke and tries to rip into him.
No, you need to listen to what I've got. No, you listen to what I've got to say. Right? No, you listen to me. Mate, he's a lot bigger than you to start with, okay? We already had the penalty, mate. You don't need to come running in, because if you start throwing punches, you will be the one that's sitting there. No, but it could happen. I understand that. I understand that. I understand what you're trying to do, but don't come in.
You're just going to think, what's
okay. You got the mark, Benny?
Petro, I just need Wade to come back for us. Stay behind him.
He's a lot bigger than you.
So Penrith take the penalty. With a high shot on Chandler Earl. Sivanasiva is swarmed upon by Roosters defence. Gets up. Not that impressed. Takes a peekaboo at one of the officials. Basically saying, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm trying to tell that bloke back there about. Here is Kingston. Heard them say he's okay, he's okay. He was referring to Kennedy. And slow to get up is Kingston. Now Walsh. And it's with Graham. And Graham is taken by a Nasta. Here's Walsh. A scurry away. Sivanasiva goes on. One-handed ball on. Burns to the ground. Purtell, the right foot. And it's gone into touch. Scrum.
Well, there was actually a slip there at an opportune time, or an inopportune time if you're talking about the Penrith attack. Nice offload from Petro Sivanasiva there, and there, pass down the front of Matt Bell. Ended up going to the wider man who kicked in behind. It's Purtell.
Tomorrow at 10, Wide World of Sports. And Gilly will talk to Usain Bolt. And Tora Bright is on the show as well live. Wide World of Sports in the morning. Adam Gilchrist talking with the fastest man on the planet, Usain Bolt.
What would he be worth under the salary cap, Usain Bolt? Can he catch?
Don't know, might be worth anything.
That's what I said, can he catch?
Wairua Hargreaves. I notice you've dropped the Wairua from your commentary. You just call him Hargreaves. Did you check it out or something?
I'm with you, buddy.
Carney reefs a ball away from dummy half. Here's Coote. And they circle him. And this fellow in the 9 jumper, Jake Friend. Get a lot of raps, young Jake, but my goodness, he's busy. How many tackles has he made? He always seems to be wrapped around the legs. 34 for the game. He's made about 6 dummy half runs. This is McKendry. And Kingston comes away to Welsh, flat. Earl. Just inside of Bell, and Purtell on his outside. Sivanasiva hard. Daniel Conn went in awkward, paid the penalty. Kennedy makes the tackle on the captain. Walsh in the middle of the ground. He puts it in the air, but there's no pressure down there for Minicello. In fact, here's the defence now.
Yeah, he miskicked that one. Didn't get up very high at all, gave his chasers no chance.
Lever.
Good run from Lewis, still keeping alive there. That'll be a penalty. Obviously, Michael Jennings was a serious loss early in this game, but the big loss for Penrith is Luke Lewis. We might try and get an update on his injury. I'm assuming it's concussion. But I fully expected to see Luke back at some stage, and you know, his direction, his involvement, his leadership. Have you got an update on that, Andrew?
Yeah, Luke Lewis, he's heavily concussed. He won't be back. Gavin Cooper, he's got a heavy cork. He's only 50-50, and Jennings is highly doubtful. I don't think you will see him tonight.
He's got to manage with 14. Yeah, you'd think if Lewis was ever coming back, he would have been here by now, because they're getting into deeper trouble. As it comes across the back line, and Daniel Kong out wide.
Yeah, I miscounted earlier. They had 14 finishing last week as well. It wasn't 15. 14 plus 9.
Nate Miles. And another penalty goes to the Roosters.
You're 3 seconds too late, Petro. 1 second, just late.
They're going to take the kick and goal.
Well, he was told he was 3 seconds too late, Petro. He said, hang on, how many? Well, no, 1. He's not having a happy night, is Petro. He's getting a bit frustrated, and the Roosters look to extend their lead to 3 converted tries.
So Ben Cummings, we've now learnt you've got to divide whatever he says by 3.
Well, 3's a long time, 3 seconds. It's 1, 2, 3, and Petro got there earlier than that.
You're 3 seconds too late, Petro. How many? 1 second, just late.
That's a nice little touch. Just beware of Ben Cummins in future. He does tend to exaggerate.
See, in my rule book, that's okay. In my rule book, that's play on. But my rule book's a funny rule book.
Carney.
There's a bit more football in it than refereeing.
I wish you'd write the book. 12 metres out right in front, and Carney boots it into the southern grandstand. Will break and come back. I wish you'd write the book. Mitch Grimer of St Clair has won the raffle. Penrith restarting. Well, the situation grimmer by the moment for the Panthers, who finished second across the line in the regular season. It's 18-0. 55 minutes of the game gone. Carney onto Anasta, stepped off his left foot, gave it back for Carney waiting. Then Leonard tries to push away. Luke Lewis on the bike, so there's some hope of him coming back as the Roosters get another penalty. 30 metres out from their own line. Finding it on the eastern side. Friend taking the tap free. Anasta for Riles. And Riles will play the ball on the halfway line. Friend, Miles was thinking of giving it to Kennedy, but Kennedy was in more traffic than he was. 3 tries in the game, 1 in the second half, at the 6th minute of the second half, that is. Kennedy towards the 30-metre line. Burns takes him to ground. Friend passes, Pearce on, Carney across, straightens up off his left foot and is taken by Kingston. 22 metres out. Minicello has a little look. Pearce goes short. Struck by the Panthers. 6 more tackles. And here comes Minicello. Back to be tackled on the 10-metre line. So now the pressure is severe. Pearce goes to the line. Anasta reeling and driving. Held up.
They've tapped it away at that left side of the field, haven't they? They've been relentless. Every time they get a set start, they take the ball to the right-hand side and come back to the left, and they'll go short side again, bring one back in, go back to that side of the field. The Panthers' right-hand defence has been under pressure all night.
Here they come over on the left side of the ground. Jason Riles playing the ball right in front of the uprights. So they've made the middle, and Friend goes to Carney. They go back to Pearce. Pearce puts a little kick in, and oh, he lost it. Michael Gordon lost it. And Ben Cummins is talking to his touch judge.
Just check that, please.
They want clarification. Did he lose the ball? Was it forced by the Roosters? Or how do we start the game again?
Yes, and that's why we're checking it.
Well, I know
okay?
they got a restart of that set of 6, so they had about a set of 10 or 11 tackles there, but they had 5 attacking raids at that one side of the field. They just peppered away there, and on the final play, a grubber kick and some nice physical chase. They're all on side, so we've got no problem there. It'll come down to fumble and who retrieves possession. Gordon goes back. He fumbles. He's knocked it on. That's your first offence.
He's got it back there, I think.
Yeah.
It was a poor option. Like, they just got to restart it. It was middle of the tackle count, and there wasn't anything doing down that side. The wing was already back. So it was only very fortuitous that it nearly went their way, the Roosters. It was just a lack of patience from Mitchell Pearce on that play.
There's no knock-ons there from the Roosters that I can see. The ball was off the knees of Lynette, it was, or Lynette.
Well, there's your first offence. Gordon has knocked the ball on. They're looking to see whether or not someone grounds it on the line here. There it is there. Gordon, has he got it? No, he's dropped it. Has he got it? Oh, God knows.
I think he's got it enough. I don't think it's a try. I think it should be, as you point out, an infringement there from Michael Gordon. So it will be a Roosters ball. But there's no try in there, surely.
He's trying to find a shot where to determine whether or not Gordon has grounded the ball or it's been grounded by a Rooster. He's gone over the top of it. It's a knock on. No, he's saying Roosters knock on there.
Yeah, I think Gordon's got enough of it there. Leilua comes in late and then he grabs it out and rolls over. I'm not even sure if he grounded it in the end anyway. But it's a Penrith knock on.
Pulatua waiting to come back into the game as we get the official red light. Knock on has been ordered.
Yeah. Off you guys.
Well, they've ruled knock on by Roosters. They're saying that Gordon didn't knock the ball on. Which he did.
Yeah.
Luke Lewis takes his place back on the field. So they've ruled that Gordon knocked that ball back and a Rooster knocked it on.
So Walsh feeds the scrum 10 away from the line. Lewis quickly into the action. Heavily concussed, we thought earlier. I'm surprised he's back, if that be the case, but obviously the doctors have thought that he can go back into the action, and there's no more time left to make the decision. If he can perform miracles, he needs at least the amount of time unexpired that you can see, and here's another problem. This time Wade Graham is unable to play the ball.
You going to play it?
Might have loosened a couple of teeth here on the head of the tackler.
Tackle 3.
He might have even got an elbow as the tackler came down over the top of him. Here's Lewis meantime. 7 metres on their side of halfway. Kingston for Bell. And Bell picked up and put down. Good strong tackle there by Orbison. Kingston for Lewis, a little chip for Gordon. Gordon gets it back. Gordon taken by Orbison. Loses the ball. They can't mount pressure.
I think he flicked that one out. He knew it was the last tackle, Michael Gordon. He just had to wait on that kick. It actually almost finished up behind him. The net tackled 10 metres in from the eastern side.
Here's Leilua now. 5 metres his side of halfway.
I like the way he heads upfield. You see a lot of the backs come in to do a bit of the forwards work, but they go across field and look for a soft landing. Lalea doesn't. He looks for a collision.
Play by Riles, and Miles is with the ball. 35 metres away from the line. On 5. Pearce high, chases on, too high. it's not often he doesn't succeed in some shape or form when in the air. Gordon is with it. Coots down.
Line us up, mate.
Coots trying to get up in back play.
Mark's there.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether or not that groin has twinged on him. He doesn't feel too good. He's going to try and run it off. Good boy.
So the kick for the line was good. Lewis grimacing and taking it ahead, but taking it into touch. Kenny Dow and Friend making the tackle on Luke Lewis.
That's a shame. Nice enthusiasm there from the Roosters as they congratulate each other. Poor old Lukey Lewis, he's concussed, he's fuzzy, he's gone out to help his team. He's had 3 strong charges. And he just gets himself a little bit too close to the sideline there, and some good muscle from Kenny Dowell over the top forces him over the sideline.
He's trying to get to the ground, isn't he? But they did well, the Roosters. They kept him up. And by keeping him up, they keep momentum in the tackle, and they're allowed to continue on with it as they win the scrum.
And it's gone away to Penrith. Lone try scorer second half. Penrith 35 out from his own line.
Enormous effort. I mean, for the Tigers last night and the Roosters tonight to come up after that game last week. I think of the two, the Tigers have been more impressive.
Good work here. The ball moving quickly, and it's gone to Minicello.
But great effort by all players and coaches to present themselves the way they have.
It came back off the Roosters, and it's taken by Coots. It's taken on halfway. Dangerous there. Passing quickly. Players running close to one another. Pulatua 7 metres into Roosters area. That's Nathan Smith. With Nate Miles around the legs. 35 from the line. Walsh it is, across, looking, going and splitting them open. Walsh heading for the corner, looking for support. He finds Purtell. And the Panthers are in to score.
And there's still a quarter of the game to go, so there's plenty of time for the Panthers. They've been looking for something. And finally, Luke Walsh is able to slice through. There's been few line breaks for them. He went across field. He didn't have the speed to beat Minicello, but look at this for a bit of sleight of hand. What a lovely flick pass and a nice take from Adrian Purtell. Some incentive.
So 18 minutes now to go. And we have 18-4 at the moment. Probably looking at 18-6 because one of the game's best is about to take the conversion attempt. There's Adrian Purtell scoring the try. Was to play back row. Early injury to Luke Lewis, and he got, or to Michael Jennings, he got moved back out into the 3/4. Michael Gordon will attempt conversion of the try scored by this fellow, Purtell. His old club bundled out of the competition last night. Michael Gordon last week became the first Panther to kick 100 goals in a season. The all-time record for a season is held by Haslam at 139 in 2004, that was, when they won the comp. 15 out, and Michael Gordon at long odds on to get the 2 points does. So it's 18-6. 12 points in it now. Maybe they might think about the one, Andrew.
Yeah, Luke Walsh, he promised during the week he was going to take the line on. That's what he did. They needed someone to stand up on the Kuno replay. Look at Luke Walsh, the flick pass. That is freakish. I couldn't be happier for the young man. Hails from Newcastle. He loves his footy. So skillful with his passing and his kicking, but this is when he's got to run the ball so much more dangerous. He's got the Panthers back.
And Anasta hits the framework of the uprights, and it bounces back into the field to play for Lachlan. Now Pulatua first in the line to take it away. First in those queued up on the tarmac. Pulatua gets it out towards 20.
And I mentioned the word incentive before we went to the break. They've obviously got huge incentive because the season's on the line here, Penrith, but now they've got some on the scoreboard.
Brad Tye the second run. Lewis goes wide. Very quickly across to Bertel, and they've gone back and turned it on the inside then for a struggling Wade Graham. Graham playing the ball back for Kingston. Now for Walsh, and Walsh gives a short ball back on the inside for Pulatua. He goes to ground. Friend is with it. No knock on is called. No hands. Might have come off the tummy. I think that's the way it was. Minicello.
There's a bit of a hole up the middle there too for Penrith. Never found the right man.
Matthew Bell, I thought, was in a position to go through the hole as the Roosters get a penalty.
Well, the best way to quell a comeback is to score some points, and I would expect the Roosters to be very aggressive here. It's a perfect opportunity to nip this in the bud. On the other hand, if the Panthers can defend this set of 6 and then rally again, well, we could find ourselves back in a ball game.
Jason Riles to the middle of the ground. They've reached the 20. Pearce goes over for Nate Miles. Luke Lewis puts his weight in the tackle with Wade Graham. I'm watching Carney. He's very deep. Very, very deep as Pearce goes across. And Nasta comes in. They use the football through the hands. And Minicello. 101.
Well, it's been relentless all night. Their decision to attack that side of the field, they have not swayed away from the plan at any stage. And now Anasta and Minicello, the two more experienced boys in the side, execute perfectly to, I think, put the game beyond doubt. Lovely play.
A despondent Luke Walsh, after just giving them a flicker of hope at the other end, watches Minicello sail in for, what is it, try 101. What's that mean? He's 3 behind Bill Mullins' record. Anthony Minicello, one of the great players. He won a Golden Boot for best player in the world a few years ago. Try-scoring freak, was a regular wearer of the green and gold #1 before injury.
And serious injury. Back problems in this game are a real concern, and he didn't play a lot of football for a long time. He's been one of the great success stories in coming back. A favourite son at the Roosters, as he should be. Roosters just 3 behind Bill Mullins' try-scoring record for the club. And we saw him go through in the first half in the same manner, and you thought, oh, gee, if they'd have given him the ball there, he scores from exactly that same movement. And this time they got their timing right. They've been a little bit impatient leading up to that. They got it right that time, and Todd Carney now looking to convert that just to negate what Penrith did at the other end moments ago.
Carney gets the 2. So he's just about on his average points scored at the footy stadium. He did the Today Show this morning, Anthony. I had the shock of my life when I saw him sitting there next to Cameron Williams.
Well, he's up early every day. He's got nothing else to do. Lovely to see him score a try there. And I think good sign from the Roosters there. You know, like if they'd have panicked when the Panthers started the comeback, here's a kickoff. It's gone out on the full. But if they'd have panicked and offered more opportunity to the Panthers, then they could have found themselves in trouble. But the first opportunity they got, Rabbits, they were aggressive. They went through their plays and they've nailed them.
So we're back to 18 points. And we've got about 12 minutes of the second sudden death semi-final to go. Penrith, #2 across the line. Roosters, #6. They are heading for that confrontation on Friday with the Gold Coast Titans. Based next Friday night at Suncorp in Brisbane.
Let's see how ruthless the Roosters are here.
Here's Pearce with a little jink off his right foot. Got a ball to Carney. Carney's in to score. That is ruthless.
I reckon if these two kids went back and watched some old tapes from Alfie Langer and Kevin Walters, they could easily form a combination to rival that outstanding pair. When opposition sides get tired around the middle of the field, these two fellas should only play a couple of feet apart. And that's a really pleasing try to see at the back end of the game how Carney and Pearce are following each other through the ruck. Pearce takes them on, he pops it up, and who's there waiting? Carney. Now, I couldn't tell you the number of times that Langer and Walters used to do this to the tired defenders at the back end of games, and these two young fellas, I'm telling you, they've got the foot on the till of greatness.
I reckon they're one of the reasons that Brian Smith has been so vocally confident in the last couple of weeks. You know, basically saying, look, this is as good a chance as I've ever had. We all thought that Parramatta in 2001 may have been the time, but it's a double barrel. They work in tandem so well. You know, as I said earlier, if you concentrate on one, the other hurts you. And their combination, the way that they roll off each other, they don't get in each other's way, and they make good decisions, and that's not easy to do in unison sometimes.
Well, they produced a try last week to get themselves back in it, and I think if they had played that way for the last 20 minutes, Roosters might have won by 10 points last week. So it's good to see from one week to the next they've learned something.
Carney with another 2 points. Sideline Andrew.
I love watching these two play, Rabs. Absolutely beautiful to watch. And they know each other's game inside out. Carney knew as soon as Pearce went, there's a chance he was going to get through the line. And then he was there to support and score the try. What a combination. They go together like bacon and eggs.
Yeah. Oh, this is a dead set googly. It beat Orbison up, all ends up. He had the bat out, he was having a flash or a slash or whatever you call it. Yeah. He's missed it completely. Yeah. It's gone through to the keeper.
He looked elegant in missing it, but didn't he? Like it wasn't as though it made him look bad in it.
Elegant, that's elegant. He's got to go on down and bat down the pitch. It took a bounce off a crack or something.
And this is the case at Canberra Stadium last night. You see the officials tonight wearing yellow socks as Penrith win the scrum. It's the NRL support of the Cancer Council. Website cancer.org.au. I'll do that throughout the Telstra finals. Get behind it, Petro Civoniceva to the 20-metre line.
30-6. 9 to go. Graham. 7 from the line. Kingston. Welsh. Cross. Run around. Bell. Back. Welsh. Now. Burns. This time. Purtell. 5 metres from the line. Dummy half Burns. 7 is Walsh. Hand up for Bell. And he will be playing the ball. 5 metres out from the line. And it goes over for Walsh to put the kick in the air. And it's a hand from the Roosters that forces it dead.
Yeah, Lynette gets up here and taps it dead. Interesting year for the Panthers. They sort of got themselves up high on the ladder and we couldn't work out why, and then they showed us for a period that they're probably in the upper echelon, and they went through a really bad period. They had a soft run into the finals and then a big injury toll, so they're looking for another start next season.
23,459, the crowd official tonight. That is disappointing. That's really disappointing. Particularly given the match is being played under sudden death conditions at the home ground of the Sydney Roosters. Geography might be the first excuse Penrith supporters might make, but Sydney Football Stadium, it's the home of the Rooster, and they've got 23,500. Even last weekend when they played the Tigers outnumbered them massively. Ten metres from the line, and we're 7 minutes from the line. Here's Lewis, back to the middle. Still 10 away, last tackle. Walsh to the line, passes, Smith kicks, came off the feet of a Rooster. This is play on. An appeal for a try is there.
We ought to just go back and check the onside, but we're more concerned on
just have a look. I think it's Nathan Smith. He puts the kick through and then toes it through again after it hits the Rooster defender. And then he crawls 5 or 6 metres as quickly as he can, which wasn't that quick, unfortunately. Just have a look. Last tackle, rolls it through. He'll kick it again. And then he goes to ground. And he does his best. Get there. No. We'll get a better angle of that. He should get something for persistence, that's for sure. There he is. No, it looks like the boot.
Yeah, Wade Graham's made a late lunge, hasn't he?
Nate Miles has got his foot there.
Let's have a look at Wade Graham's hand in underneath there.
That's a try.
That's a try.
That's a try for Wade Graham. He's onside. There was no knock on.
No, well, if it's a try, it's 2 points to Wade Graham and it's 2 points to Nathan Smith.
So the green light is there. Well done, Wade Graham. Well done, Nathan Smith, as you celebrate, which is maybe the wrong word under the circumstances, but you are playing your 100th. There's the kick. Then the master of the crawl, the Australian crawl.
So where are we, Rabbits? Next Friday night we go to Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, do we?
You do indeed.
We go up there for the Roosters versus the Gold Coast Titans. Wade Graham celebrating with his fans.
You'll be up there flying business class with Qantas.
And then on next Saturday night, wow, what a game. ANZ Stadium. The Dragons and the Tigers. The Dragons and the Tigers, Rabbits.
Well, in the old language, you're talking about St George Illawarra versus Balmain or St George Illawarra versus the Magpies. And that sends us right down memory lane to Probyn and Summons and all those sort of things. But it reminds me, as he kicks the goal, Michael Gordon, that it's got a very similar appearance to 2005. They played a preliminary final as the Tigers went on to win the premiership.
I don't want to get too far ahead because I'm looking forward to, as you can see there, the new Rugby League show on Monday nights on the 9 Network. I'm looking forward to Suncorp first up. I think the Titans and the Roosters might just be something a little bit special as well. I'm a huge fan of the Titans. I think they're a real chance this year, and the Roosters, well, they're dangerous. They're confident. They're capable.
I haven't been that impressed with the Roosters' defence tonight, even though they've kept them to 12. I mean, the Panthers have been hit by injury and key players left the field early. And I still thought in the first half that they cracked the Roosters pretty comfortably a couple of times. The try where Walsh went through is a concern, so they're going to have to tighten that up to keep the Titans at bay. Attacking-wise, no problem. They've got the points in them.
Inside the last 5. That is Shanda Earl. And into touch.
He's pushed the ball out, trying to put men away down the outside. In the end, Kevin Kingston regathered. Put his foot into touch.
But they're interesting contrasts, both games. You've got the Dragons with easily the best defence in the league. They're methodical, relentless, disciplined, up against the Tigers, who are just, well, it's the Benji show, isn't it?
Well, look, it was last night. I haven't seen, I don't think I've seen anything quite like that. He just absolutely took command, didn't he?
He's the most entertaining player in the game. And then it happens again the following night. You know, you've got the Titans, who are pretty much like the Dragons.
Here's a bust again made by the Roosters, and it's been cut down in a lovely tackle from Coote. It was Carney on his way. They still might be on their way, and it's with Linnett. And he'll play the ball 15 away from the line. Minicello a dummy half. Carney's with the ball. Inside for White, Rhea Hargreaves. And they upend him and put him down. Minicello's got himself firmly entrenched up there at the dummy half at the moment. Peers on, and there's a kick from Carney. Kenny Dow's after it, but Perrott beat him to it. Perrott said, hang on a moment.
Just check the onside, but just check the bounding, mate.
This is my ball.
And that'll be his second for the night, Sammy Perrott. It's a beautiful kick. The way they get the ball to spin back to their chasing team. They kick it off the instep and they get the ball to curl. It spins. It goes towards the dead ball line. Then it starts to back up a little bit for the men that are chasing. And all the halfbacks and 5/8s are getting really good at it now. There's Perrott just easing it down to the ground pretty much with his groin. Did it touch the ground?
Yeah, it does. You know, that's not that.
Does it touch the ground? He's got it. 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 It's not on the ground.
It's not a try. It doesn't. Get
He's not on the ground.
It does. It touches the ground when it gets to the white line.
He couldn't get it out of his groin. I don't think he grounds it.
You don't think a blade of grass?
Oh. He's got the hands over the evidence if he has. Look at this. Show me the ball on the ground. Show me the ball on the ground. I haven't seen it yet. It's on his leg.
It's not on the ground. It's no try.
No. And his knee hits the thing, and that's no try.
I want to give him a try, but I can't, Ray. It's a no try.
Okay, we'll take it back. Sorry, Sam.
He's...
Well, that's your
I never see it any time the ball hit the ground. But at the absolute best for the Roosters, maybe benefit of the doubt.
That could be.
Let's have a look. I still think it's on his leg. I don't think the ball hits the ground.
His hand's under it there.
There's daylight. No, you can't give that. You can't give that.
It would be a big benefit of the doubt. Fortunately, it's not going to have any bearing on the game.
I wish I got that much benefit of the doubt sometimes. That's if he gives it. Bingo.
benefit of the doubt.
I don't get that much benefit of the doubt, Rabbits. When are they going to deal us some benefit of the doubt? That was a big benefit of the doubt.
What are you talking about? They don't give you any benefit of the doubt.
You don't. You're very unkind.
Look at this.
Yeah, lovely work by Kane. Look how he kicks the point, and the ball will start to spin back towards his teammates. It sort of comes forward, then it comes backwards. And that allows the man to come through. And on the Keno replay, the video referee has been extremely benevolent there with his handing out of benefit of the doubt. There are husbands everywhere saying to their wives, see, that's benefit of the doubt. Why don't I get that sort of benefit?
34-12. It's 34-12 and you're still blowing up.
Well, benefit of the doubt.
Carney with 5 from 6 tonight.
Their husbands sitting in their lounge room with their wives. They say, that's benefit of the doubt. Why can't I?
You've been there. You've said it 3 times.
Why can't I get some benefit of the doubt?
Carney. And just wide. Wally, please give me some rest, some respite.
Well, there was a fair bit of doubt in that one, Rabs. I agree with Gus 100%. In the Keno replay, showing some very good positional play. A great kick from Carney, but look, when I had a look at this from the different angles, there was no way in the world I thought that the ball was grounded. If it was grounded, it was on the line, but there was already a foot over.
Brad Tighe kicks off to the final section of the game. And here's Wairia Hargraves bumping his way up the ground. Peter's right, you know, it's going to be a classic game with the Titans up against the Roosters on Friday at Suncorp.
It's a big performance by Brian Smith and his troops, isn't it? This team ran last year. Not last, they ran a long last. Here they are in the last 4 standing. It's a brilliant team and club performance. Coach of the year, Brian Smith. Captain of the year, Braithen Astor. Player of the year, Todd Carney. Mitchell Pearce in the mix. He might be our man of the match tonight, you never know.
Here they go again. Roosters on their way with Con. 25 out, quick play the ball, spread required. And Astor kicks. Back there is Walsh on his own sim, and he bats it away. 34-12 will be the final score. So the Roosters go to the preliminary final. They will play Gold Coast Titans. One of them will play either the Dragons or the Tigers in the big one on League's biggest day, on Rugby League's biggest stage. Well, for Penrith, all of the bad luck came at the wrong end of the year. Last week it started with Waterhouse and Pritchard unavailable for this. Carney begs the crowd to get with them. Catch the train, catch the plane, start walking now for next Friday.